Hi, I'm Madame Pamita, and I love teaching about magic. If you have a question about spells, the law of attraction, spirituality, witchcraft, Slavic folk magic, spirits, divination, you can join me on Sundays at the Live Magic Q&A where we record an episode of my podcast, Magic and the Law of Attraction, and then I answer your questions on anything mystical or magical live over Zoom. Just go to spellsquad.com to get the link to join me in the clubhouse. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and click the bell icon so you get a gentle, magical reminder and you'll be the first witch to see whenever anything new goes up. Here's a great tidbit from one of our past Q&As answering a really important spiritual question.
Okay, so Vivian says, hi, Madam Pamita. So happy to see you. Was wondering about whether or not it always makes a difference to do a spell. I just have a thought and I manifest it easily. With things that I have more resistance to, I often have to do a spell, and sometimes it takes a while, even months or years, for it to happen. I guess maybe another way to ask this question is there a magical way to reduce my resistance so my spells work better, or even as easily as manifesting simple things? Okay, so you bring up a great point, Vivian. So in my own personal practice, this is my belief system. So this is not necessarily everybody's belief system, just pointing that out. This is my belief system. This is my system that I came up with. You can take it or leave it. I'll just put it out there. So in law of attraction, another way of calling law of attraction, that's a more modern way of saying manifestation, law of attraction, is new thought. New thought came about 150, 175 years ago. And in new thought belief systems, thoughts create reality. Actually, it's, the idea of new thought came about 150 years ago, but this goes back to ancient times. Actually, just ancient Greece and so on, this concept existed. So the idea that you could think something and then create the reality of it. Well, we see evidence of that all the time, right? Everything that from the chair that you're sitting on to the space that you're in as you're listening to this podcast, or you're watching here, or you're watching this on a computer, everything that you're touching, looking at, sitting with, that is around you was once an idea. Think about that for a second. Everything around you was once an idea. Someone had the idea that they were going to invent, I'm just holding up my can of water, sparkling water that had a flavor with juice in it that I find delightful, right? So everything that's around you was created by somebody. And to have that creation is to have the idea first. Now, that's talking about manufactured things. Obviously, plants and animals and things like that were not part of that. But when we're talking about manifestation of material, human-made things, that is a reality. So we know this is true. Thoughts create things, but we can take that even further, that what you are habitually thinking over and over again is what you're going to see in the world. We see evidence of that all the time, right? How many of us know somebody that's always like, oh, everyone out there's a cheater, and then all they meet are cheaters, right? Because they're constantly vibrating that everybody's a cheater. So who are they going to be attracted to? Who are they going to meet? Birds of a feather flock together. This is the concept of magic, that like attracts like. If you're thinking negative things, you're going to attract negative things. If you're thinking positive things, you're going to attract positive things. That doesn't mean that if you are thinking positive things, that nothing challenging is going to happen to you. But what do you do with the challenge, right? What do you do with that thing? Are you going to focus on the negative, or are you going to focus on the positive? That's your choice, right? So where does magic come in with all of this? My belief is that with focused thought, purely with focused thought, we can manifest, right? If we have a laser beam focus on our positive intention of what we are wanting, we can manifest that stuff. We can. But what's the reality? What's the reality? We don't have laser focus most of the time. So I would say to you, Vivian, those things that you're focusing on and that you manifest, you have laser beam focus and you're turning it on. But we don't have laser beam focus about everything. Some things we do. Some things that may be vague and we don't know, or some things we may be having trauma or doubt that we're harboring from past lives or this lifetime or whatever, that are preventing us from thinking optimistically and expectantly about the things that are going to come in. So when that's the case, that's when we bring in our magical tools, right? So when we don't have a laser beam focus on something, we bring in our spells. Why? Because our spells are like our I would say our servants in a way, maybe, that are going out and doing the thing that we want them or asking them to do. I would say, let's not call them servants. Let's call them our team, our allies. We call them our allies, our magical allies. I say that all the time. So our magical allies that we're bringing in that are going to positively support our intention, even if we're wobbly in our intention, right? So let's think of something that might be wobbly. Oh, maybe I have some trauma about, I don't know, let's say I have trauma about finding a job. I'm going out for interviews and nobody's calling me back. And it's triggering for me fear about lack and fear about money. So it's hard for me to get into that place where I can think positively about my fabulous new job that's coming in because I'm putting things out there and nothing's happening. And then I start to get fearful. So that's when we bring our spells in. That's when we bring our spells in. So then we do a spell for a job, perfect outcome, and perfect timing. And we set that candle and we let it go. And then we let it take our energy without judgment. It has no judgment on our wish, right? It doesn't say you don't deserve a job. It doesn't say you can't get a job. It's like, I'm going to go out there and get a job. You're going to get a job. So I find that if you can do a spell and have a focused at it, laser beam focus, that really makes things happen very fast. But if we don't have a laser beam focus, we can bring that spell in to still move things forward, even when we're wobbly about it. Now, that being said, if you have a spell and you're like, I'm never going to get a job, that's not good. When I say wobbly, I mean wobbly, meaning like, I think I can get a job. Oh, maybe not, but I think I can. That's wobbly. If you're like, absolutely, I'm not going to get a job and you light a candle, it's not going to do anything because you are pulling back too hard. So make sure that you're at least wobbly when you're doing a spell, that you're not negative about it before you start doing that spell. I think that's probably a pretty big key point for that. All right.